I was most impacted by grief when my best friend Dickie died. We'd been friends for a long time, and he was really an important person to me. And he was the most fun, alive person I ever knew. And I had the most fun with him. And he was really like more my family than a friend. When he passed, it felt like my world stopped. He was so energetic, and he was quite a ladies' man. A lot of the other guys in town would get jealous of him or get mad at him because he actually would just brag that these other guys were much more handsome than he was. He didn't think he was particularly good looking, but he had a lot of charm and a lot of personality. So when his other more handsome friends would attract these really beautiful ladies, he'd sweep in and take them away. The last year of Dickie's life, he would actually come to me a lot to ask me questions about the spirit world. And he actually liked to watch the show Medium. So he would call me every Monday night. Di, is it really true that spirits can move things? Is it really true that you can visit your loved ones after you die? And he was doing it more like he was studying life after death instead of just enjoying a show. It was almost as if he knew he was going to go and was preparing. He came to me because he knew I saw ghosts and knew that I lived in a lot of haunted houses and that I was a healer, and so I was very, very open and knowledgeable about it. I don't think he particularly understood or accepted it all, but he accepted and supported me. I couldn't believe it was true. I couldn't believe that Dickie was actually dead. Because he was so alive and so energetic that it was just, it seemed like it was impossible for him to have died the way he did. Well, Dickie died suddenly of a heart attack. That's how he passed. And I started waking up with heart pains every single day. As soon as I'd wake up in the morning, I'd open my eyes, take my first breath, and then there it would be again. And I actually had a heart pain for 3 solid years. I didn't know what it was about. I just assumed I was probably going to die like he did. It's really actually very common for the survivors to take on pains from their loved ones that passed. So some of that can be symptoms of unhealed grief, but sometimes it's just a way to stay connected to your loved one that died, is that we take on a lot of physical symptoms and mental, emotional issues that they had. I've known a lot of other people in the meantime that have taken on agoraphobia, anxiety, depression, a lot of different addictions. Well, sometimes their spirit is actually with them, which actually makes them take it on that way. The issue is resolved once the spirit's crossed over. Sometimes they take it on as a way to stay connected and feel close to the person that died, and then sometimes it's unhealed grief. Well, within 2 years, my little sister Mary died, and very unexpectedly as well. So I hadn't still healed my grief. I was still in the thick of it, trying to find a way to heal it. And so when she died, I kind of threw in the towel at my other business that I was running. I decided this is all I wanted to do. I really wanted to focus on my healing, making sure my loved ones were okay, and then taking that out and helping other people that were feeling the way that I did. What I do is actually accelerate their healing process. I would work differently than a normal counselor would because of my spiritual gifts. I've actually been working with the spirit world my entire life. I learned from a healing priest in Medjugorje, Bosnia in 1995 how to work with the spirit world. I've studied at Arthur Findlay College in England. It's a school for mediums. I have been instructing theta healing classes for over 10 years. I've written 2 books published by Llewellyn on the spirit world, and it's what I do full time. The initial session that I have when someone first comes to me after the loss of a loved one is to make contact with them and make sure that they're crossed over. Then I begin to work with the person that's sitting in front of me to make sure that they're mentally, emotionally, and spiritually okay. So one of the things that I like to do in that first session is to address some physical ailments from the stress and from the trauma. There's so many different ways that grief affects us. Sometimes people are carrying energy from grief from a loss 25 years ago, and that's still held within the body in different places, and it still affects us in different ways. This channel is actually to help people understand grief and understand how the spirit world impacts them and their grief and their ability to move on and move forward with their happy life. So this channel is for you. If you've lost a loved one, if you've lost your best friend, your sister, your sibling, or a pet. So I post a new video every single Thursday, and this is a place where you can come to for community and for support. So please ask your questions and share your stories here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.